G'day, guys. Welcome to the first ever edition of Betting Bad. I'm one of the hosts, Dino's Dugout. I'm sure many of you may have seen us, many of you may not, but after the cinematic masterpiece we put on Monday there, Will, I reckon, it's a good introduction, best as many. Mate, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm really well. I'm keen to get this ball rolling. Obviously, something that we've had in the works for quite some time now. Or at least for the Instagram page, we started this on Saturday night on the bender. So keen to rip into it, mate.
Mate, 100%. And what a studio. I didn't think walking in here, Jock, what a bloke as well, handing us a couple of beers. I wish he can do that every week. Is that going to be something on the cards every week, Jock? Or
I'm sure we can work.
I'm sure we can.
So.
But yeah, Saturday, it moved along really quickly, the podcast. Obviously, we've been mates for quite a while. Something that we've always wanted to do. I said I did a much low-level tier podcast compared to what we're sitting in, but very exciting. Obviously, the viewers may not know much about us and how we became friends, so let's give it an insight, eh?
Mate, we met, would have been 2019, through a mutual mate that we met overseas in Europe, and we started a punters club 2019, late 2019.
Yep, one of the great punters clubs.
Yeah, I was shit house. I think I had like $300 collect when everyone else was on like $5,000. But
yeah, got the wooden spoon there.
Yeah, I got the wooden spoon. Yeah, I was on the nudie run. But nah, man, we met during then, and we've had many punts, many bets, many beers. Probably too many beers. But
can't have too many beers, bro.
Yeah, it's led us to where we are today, mate. So can't complain.
100%. One of the great things about a punters club, like-minded individuals come together, have a bet, have a punt, have a beer. Highly recommend it because look where we are now, bro. Like straight from them 5 years ago. Now we're doing a podcast with our own sponsors as well. So it's
and look, and this idea probably started at 4 a.m. somewhere along the lines with us. So.
Yeah,
mate, I'm glad it's come to fruition.
100%. One of those chats at 4 a.m. that's actually come through. I'm sure many people out there listening have had many of ideas at 4 a.m. on a kitchen bench, but yeah, it's good that it's come along now. So pretty much going through from our Instagram page, if anyone's had a look, obviously going to be talking about sports, punts, all the good stuff in between. Obviously, we don't treat ourselves too seriously, but we are serious about making money and being one of the good guys, as Benny Scarf would say.
Yes.
Wouldn't happen without our sponsor though, Will, would it?
No, and obviously we've been pretty grateful to get a sponsor like Lightning Bet. One of the good guys in a market full of bad guys. Mate, they pride themselves on their service. They're 100% Aussie owned. They're one of the on-track bookies, aren't they, Dino?
100%. Lightning Bet isn't, like you said, Aussie bookie. He's been on track for over sort of 20 years. So you may have bumped into one of the boys down there in the betting rings at Randwick for many, many years, even down at Nowra, Kembla. So yeah, one of the good Aussie bookies out there. Got a whole lot of promotional codes that, you can benefit.
Stacks of them, yeah.
Stacks of them. One of the best things is you win on Saturday, you can have up to 3 Osco withdrawals. So if you back the first thing at Randwick, you can...
You're on the piss by the afternoon.
You're on the piss for free, so to speak, and you can make sure that comes out of your betting account into your pockets. So
exactly right.
We do have a bit of a code though, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We do use the code Walter.
If you didn't get the gag of the Walter code as well, you may be a little bit behind the pace. Obviously, what we're wearing here... Mate, the gloves.
Not the most comfortable. And it sounded a lot better at probably 4 a.m. somewhere. But mate, it's all for the gimmick, I guess.
I tell you what, Jock's looked after us, put the aircon on. Like I said, a couple of cold beers, definitely getting the sweats down a little bit. Summer, we may need to get another attire, but probably without further ado, guys, we're going to get straight into it. What have we got going on first,
mate? I think it's probably a good time to get into the NRL from last week.
100%.
Just a quick review. Obviously, we're on Wednesday now, so we are a little bit behind the 8 ball. But, mate, I want to start off with the Panthers beating the Roosters 30-10. What were your thoughts on that, mate? That was Friday night.
Yeah, pretty comprehensive, wasn't it? On a betting standpoint, Penrith covered the line. A lot of punters were sort of, looking at a semi-final. Maybe Roosters could cover it without a bit of cattle. Nathan Cleary's first game back. Look, the smarter option, obviously hindsight, they're going to say is 2020, and we're obviously looking back on it. But yeah, Penrith most definitely covered that line quite comfortably. 24-0 at half-time.
Yeah.
Just dominated the middle, really.
What do you think of Cleary?
Made outstanding, as always. He comes back after an injury, you think he's going to be and a little bit underdone, but he just keeps himself in such good physical condition. He's a big boy too, so
He's only young.
He is only young, 25, I believe. Already 3 grand finals, knocking down on a 4th. So, yeah, his body seems to be holding up pretty well. He's had a couple of injuries, but he comes back, first tackle, he just launched himself into Lindsay Collins, I believe, and then from then on just dominated the kicking game, and the Roosters couldn't handle it. A few not a few concerns for the Roosters, but they made fundamental errors. That means that they just weren't up for it. Can happen in a semi-final where you do have a second chance. So whether that is just they were underdone, they're kind of looking at, I don't think anyone goes in a semi-final thinking we've got a second chance, but I do believe that they will be better for that this week because it is going to be do or die, but Penrith just dominated, and next thing you know, they're one win away for another grand final.
Yeah, $2.40 at the moment, them and Storm. Panthers 13+ against Roosters was always the go there, I think. Mate, we move on to Saturday. Storm 37, Sharks 10.
37-10. So the decisive moment of this game, I reckon, Will was just, he's got the same name as you, Will Kennedy, knocked on straight off the kickoff. If you're looking at an absolute bludger of a start, Craig Fitzgibbon would have just gone, fucking hell. Straight off the kickoff, just straight over his head. Next thing you know, Storm get the ball. Munster, pretty much one of his first touches goes over, which just set up him for the whole game.
That was in a few minutes, wasn't it?
Crazy.
It was a quick try, yeah.
Mate, in the first minute, I'm pretty sure I was at my mate's house and we were on KO and it was lagged behind. We just skipped forward a minute and a half. Next thing you know, it's 6-0. I went, all right, what's happened here?
Yeah.
Not a good start for obviously Cronulla on that end. A couple of outstanding performances. I think Harry Grant with 3 tries, his first career hat trick in a semi-final was. It's a pretty good effort. I heard him on the radio saying he hasn't scored a hat trick since under 7s for Yapoon. So, good luck to you. I don't think I've ever scored a hat trick.
No, I don't think you have either.
I think I've been bowled by someone on a hat trick once before. Golden Tuck. Yeah, I got an absolute spray from the old fella, and
How old were you?
I was about 9.
A year ago.
Yeah, the shouldering arms because it's about beer o'clock down at the RSL. But no, So the Storm just rattled on. A couple of bad plays by Cronulla.
Yep.
They weren't up for it.
Yep.
Yet again, they're going into another final series without winning another game. It's a bit worrying.
Yeah, it's sad for the Sharks fans. They've got a tough matchup this week as well, I think, which we'll get to later on, but obviously a very, very tough matchup against the Cows. Speaking of, Cowboys 28, Knights 16 on Saturday night, mate. What were your thoughts?
This was a very entertaining game. I enjoyed it more, pretty much, besides the other Bulldogs-Manly game. This one was down to the wire for most of the second half. The best player on the field was Kalen Ponga. Everyone knows that. It's
one of his best games he's ever played.
Unreal. And it's just a bit of a shame that 2 moments late in that second half that he was involved in determined really the result.
Yeah, I think he's forgiven.
Massively forgiven.
And he's forgiven in the masses, I think.
Yeah, there's no doubt that without him, they wouldn't even got anywhere close. But that just kind of, I don't know, it kind of led the balloon out of the Knights when Gagai dropped that ball when he broke it in the backfield. He's entitled to catch it, got 2 hands on it, missed the kick before. I think they just got deflated, and the Cows at home, the home crowd got him over the line and sort of ran over the top of him. But I think that was probably the defining moment, and the Cows just ran with momentum off the back of that. Yeah,
you're not wrong, mate. And then we move on to Sunday. We had the Sea Eagles 24, Dogs 22.
So the
One
Doggies,
of the games of the round, man.
Mate, Accor Stadium, I believe 70,000.
Are they a letdown this season, the Dogs?
Not a chance. I reckon they... heaps of pundits were saying that they were going to get the wooden spoon. To then going to the semi-final with the biggest crowd that they've had in a semi-final, and I could be mistaken in maybe ever. I think there was like 70,000.
Yeah.
It would be definitely up there. Don't hold me to that record, but it brought life back into the Doggies fans after 9 years in exile, really.
There's a heap of teams that they make the top 8, then when no one expects them to, they make the finals and they get knocked out round 1 and they have a shit of a season the next season. Do you think that's going to happen with the Dogs?
Look, I don't think it will. I think Cameron Cireldo, it's now his 2nd or 3rd year in charge. Whether he's going into his 3rd next year, I'm not too sure on that one. But I think if you're a first-time coach and that happens, you can fall away. It's a bit of first-year syndrome. Like the Warriors last year, I think they fell victim to the second-year syndrome of doing a really good result. I think with Serraldo now that he's going into a bit of a tenure, he's instilled a bit of strength, a bit of fortitude in the team, and I think if you're a Dogs fan, you'd be pretty happy with the result and looking forward to next season.
Yeah, 100%. Move on to the UFC, mate.
Beautiful. So this one's straight down your alley. If obviously the Goodwill Punting loves a bit of fight, a bit of bare knuckle. I've seen it on a night out. I don't want to get in his way most of the time. I'm just going to get my notes around here. But MMA 306. So obviously this is down your alley. The first thing that I noticed, I watched a few of these cards at the pub. It was my sister's partner's birthday. Shout out, happy birthday to Alex. But there was no stoppages, mate. What happened?
Nah, man. But you know what? I feel like that's not a true reflection of how the card was. The card was outstanding. The Sphere kind of stole the spotlight, to be honest. I know that Sean O'Malley's at the top of that card, but I don't think that he's as big as a star as probably the UFC is trying to make him.
Yep.
The Sphere took over, and the Sphere was the show. I don't know if you watched it, mate, but I was watching it live. It was pretty much they were telling a story the whole way through. So they go chapter 1, which was Ribovic and Zellhuber. Oh, sorry, no, it was Rodriguez and Osborne.
Yep.
And they go chapter 2, Ribovic, Zellhuber, and they go all the way up, and it's different scenes and different moments through Mexican history. And it was honestly like I was watching it on the TV, and it was unreal. But I couldn't imagine what it would be like if you're actually there live.
Yeah, I mean that's if they're doing like a character build. I mean, it's straight into the psychic of the fighter. They would think that they're not even entering. I mean, they know they're entering a fight, but it's like almost like a movie.
Mate, the first one I'm pretty sure was a temple. And it was like fire lit torches and shit going on.
Tiki fire?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty sure I saw you in the tab.
Yeah, I was. I kept asking to go to the bar to get drinks for the birthday. I was just watching the UFC and this Sphere slapping the table for no reason.
Bruce Buffer giving you this
100%.
But mate, look, honestly, no, an outstanding card. Osborne, Rodriguez, and Zellhuber and Ribovic, they both got hammered for those two fights being on that card. Dana White was calling it one of the greatest cards of all time, and they thought that these two fights and 4 fighters should not be on the card or nowhere near.
Yep.
It goes to show that I don't think it's about the fighters anymore. It's about the fights, because those 2 fights were outstanding. One of them, Zellhuber and Ribovic, was their round 3 is one of the best rounds you'll ever see in UFC. Could be fight of the year, and they're being talked about that as well. So that was outstanding. Mate,
because that was the I believe that was a 3rd fight in the card, wasn't it?
The fourth fight. Yeah.
So Esteban?
Esteban Ribovic.
Yeah, he won by decision, and he's got a 14-1 record.
Mate, he does. And I was actually spewing. I had him TKO or via knockout. And 3rd round, I think he landed like 40-something punches on him. Couldn't land the knockout blow. I had him at $7.50.
Oh, you'd have a sore head the next day, wouldn't you?
Yeah, made it worse. I got on Diego Lopez next, 1st round knockout. He took it to a decision. Same thing though, 1st round, he bull out of the gate, drops Ortega, hits him twice on the way down, and another outstanding fight. Great, Ortega's got a chin.
I've seen that. The 1st round, it was like he knocked him out in the first 15, 20 seconds, and then with the left, he's just woken him back up.
Yeah.
He went boost far.
I was scanning the ticket. I thought I was home.
Oh, bro, he's got a chin. Ortega, though, the last times I've seen him fight, he after the Max fight, I believe, did he verse Holloway?
He versus Holloway, yeah. He got pumped by Holloway.
From then on, every time I see him fight, he just keeps getting chonned. Like he doesn't have a bad record, but what's going on?
The thing is that he gets chewed up and spat out, but he usually finds a way to win. Like even when he weathered the storm with Lopez at the start, as soon as the 2nd round started, I thought, Taker's going to win this.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to throw some freaky submission, and he nearly did. But Lopez too good, man. It'll be interesting. I think he fights Volkanovski next, which will be
Diego Lopez?
Yeah, I think so.
How old's Lopez? Because he looked quite young, but I've seen his record. He's young. He's fought.
Yeah,
he's been in the ring a lot.
He's very young. He debuted on like 2 weeks' notice. He's had win-losses at the start of his career, but he's on a large winning streak now, and he's on fire, man. But... not much to talk about in the next fight. Grasso, Shevchenko, mate.
That was just a snooze fest, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Shevchenko, that was meant to be the trilogy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a trilogy. And Grasso's won twice, and the worst thing is that now the UFC's probably going to have to book them to have
What,
a fourth fight.
It's going to be like The Hangover.
Yeah.
It was good the first fight, and it just keeps going down. I mean, how many times do you want to see the same fight, especially after that? I mean, I don't think that's going to hype up any card.
Nah.
It's definitely not going to be co-main event, will it?
Nah, look, it might have to be co-main event. It won't be a main event. It might have to be co-main event, but yeah, it's not going to sell that many tickets, which I think is probably a good time to put them on the Sphere anyway, because the Sphere was the star of the show.
100%. I saw most of the crowd. They would just be, mate, after time, because the Sphere in itself is just like, I remember the old man went to Vegas for the NRL, and he goes, check out this. I go, what? He goes, I'm going to a Sphere. I went, what are you talking about, mate? And I didn't know it. I didn't see it. And he showed me. I went, oh, this looks phenomenal.
They were showing the fights, or at least the start of the fights, on the Sphere on the outside. So if you're in your hotel room, like I remember we went to Vegas early in the year for the footy.
Yeah.
Win nightclub, or the Win Hotel, sorry. You can look out and you can see the Sphere. You'd be able to watch the fights from there if you were there at the same time. So, great show. To
You
top
weren't
it
really
off,
looking at the Sphere though, were you? You were looking at the casino.
yeah, back of my eyelids. Sean O'Malley, Marab as well. Pretty good fight. Like I feel like people giving this fight a lot of flack, but it's actually a pretty good fight, man.
Well, Sean O'Malley didn't give up. So a lot of times when he got belted. He was 4. What was it? It was unanimous, but it was almost 4-1, wasn't it? Or 5-0.
I had it 4-1. I think
Yeah.
some judges gave O'Malley 2, but it was the 5th round and the 3rd round, so it's nothing. Yeah, the 5th round, Marab was literally just running around the ring. So
He was loving life, and I seen him on Instagram. Marab, he's a funny bastard from Georgia.
he is, man. He's a character. He's actually like, I feel like he's quite marketable, but just he hasn't had any finishes. I think he's had like 1 finish his entire career.
He reminds me of Khabib a lot, the way that he fights. Just in terms of just a big bear, kind of runs around.
Yep.
Won't stop. There was a funny in that fight. I believe it was the 2nd round, or you can correct me on that one, where he was kissing him on the neck. And then second round, yeah, he was kissing him on the neck, and then O'Malley he turned his back and he almost got
that was a confusion.
KO.
Herb Dean said something like, "Don't do that," and then I think Marab just thought he broke him up for the ring, for the bell, but no, it was continued. So
Herb's a bit sus, isn't he?
Yeah, he was carrying on in the 5th round. Marab's just doing what every fighter does and tries to survive, and he's running around the octagon. He's still like fighting. He's still throwing punches, and Herb Dean's there shouting at him, going, "Mate, work, you've got to work." Like, it's just a bit too much.
Yeah.
Don't get involved.
So what's next for O'Malley, you reckon? Because I saw Charles Sonnen tweeted him, because he did tweet his fans, O'Malley, saying he thought he let everyone down. He was very hard on himself, which, I mean, it's good to see in terms of... Because, look, at the end of the day, Sean O'Malley's marketing himself. He's got, his weed company. Mm-hmm. He's tied in with Jake Paul with the body spray stuff.
Yep.
So he's making heaps of money. A lot of people sit on that outlook. Look, I don't, I love the sport. I'm not so into it as much as you. But I mean, when you look at someone like that, you go, well, what is going to drive this guy to keep fighting anymore? Like,
I think he understands that, to be honest. I don't think he's too fussed by the loss. Like, in my opinion, I thought there was something up with him, but he's come out like only yesterday saying that there was nothing wrong.
Yep.
I think there might be a minor injury somewhere, but he's taken full responsibility of the loss. He's just going to move on and just train harder. He has got a tough fight in the next one, though. I think he might be fighting Corey Sandhagen. I think that's probably
a great name.
Oh, man.
That's one of the great names in UFC. Sandhagen. He sounds like the Sandman coming out of ECW.
Yeah, I think he comes out with it. He's coming out with a bat with nails and shit.
Coming down the ring, just like headbutting it. What's going on here? Don't want to verse a bloke with sand in his name.
Yeah, I think they're doing that. Yeah. So, man, but look, that should be a really exciting fight if they put it together. And then Umar and Marab, that's a mad fight as well. I think that's the only fight that they can book.
Is he Russian?
Umar?
Yep.
It's Umar Nurmagomedov. He's Khabib's cousin.
There you go.
Yeah.
That'll be a good fight. I mean...
He's $1... I had a look the other day. He's $1.50 for the futures market for that. And Marab's like $2.70, which is crazy.
That is crazy. He's champ.
And he's ran through everyone. He hasn't really looked like... He just ran through O'Malley. I know Umar's a different test, but... Man, $2.70.
It's not for the stand-up fighters. I don't think they're going to be doing much
trading
blows, is it? It'd be one for the true MMA fans, the real jiu-jitsu ground.
It'll be technical.
It will be technical.
Yeah, it will be.
We're looking forward to that. Plenty of cards coming up. Unfortunately, there's none this week. Why is that? Are they having a week off, or
they just have a week off some of the time?
Yeah,
it's usually after a big card.
Just a buy.
I think after 300 they do the same thing, but in 306 they've done the same, and then Next week, I believe, it's Moicano and Saint Denis. So big card for that one. Obviously, we're doing a bit of Instagram content for that, and also chatting a bit more about that on the podcast next week.
Beautiful. So stay tuned for more MMA in terms of those tips. What we got up next, obviously the Group 1, the spring is back, guys. So exciting times. Sponsored by Byron Bay again. Thank you very much. Jock, Eddie's going down a treat. Absolute scorcher today. I got hammered by the wind out there. My lips got absolutely scorched. So this is treat them very well. Who needs paw when you got beer? In terms of the horse racing, I tell you, it's good stuff. Yeah.
It is,
the missus might disagree, but anyway, we'll move on from that. The horse racing, though, it's Group 1, springtime. Exciting times because a couple of stars have come back in good order. We do have some tips coming up. Obviously, sponsored by Lightning Bet. This Saturday is you got the Underwood Stakes, the Kingston Town. You got the T-Rose. There's about 3 or 4 Group 1s. Correct me if I'm wrong. There may even be a little bit more. So
it's a huge day.
We're going to do our best to try and tip you guys into a few winners. That's what we're trying to do. Obviously, we're not out here trying to lose as well. Hopefully, we can get a few up. We're going to be doing a quaddie though, aren't we?
Yeah, the betting bag quaddie. We'll do one in Sydney, one in Melbourne, and we'll obviously try and kick us off with a bang.
Yeah, beautiful. In terms of that, keep posted on that as well. I believe we're going to run some sort of incentive as well. We'll talk about it at the end of the podcast. It's quite interactive with the fans in terms of sending your tips in. Obviously, we're all in it together. Tipping's hard enough, Half the time I can't even tip sand off a shovel. So we're going to do our best to try to, get you in there. But I do have a couple of good things this week, and I think are going to go quite well at some odds as well. In terms of, we'll start at Caulfield. What's the main sort of race there at Caulfield that we got going on? I believe.
Man, I think there's a few.
That could be. It could be the Kingston Town.
I have to get this internet going. So the Kingston Town, is it?
I believe so. Race 7. I do have something here. There's a couple of good jockeys as well. The beauty about spring moving forward is you get jockeys from everywhere. Joe Moreira's come from Hong Kong. He's the Hong Kong master. They got statues of him in Hong Kong. They wave at him. They wave at him when he's coming down the aisle just to make sure that he can do it and get the horse over the line. 9 times out of 10, he does as well. Yep. Very corrupt over there, though. So it's a different ball game when you come to Australia. They all sort of got a bit of a flow going on. So
got the Underwood.
Yeah, the Underwood. So the Underwood Stakes, I believe that is over 1,800. Is that correct?
That is correct. Race 8.
Race 8.
4:15 on Saturday, mate.
4:15 on Saturday. So for the Underwood Stakes, I just talked him up there, the Magic Man. I've got something here, Buckaroo, paying at $6. Chris Waller horse. I believe it's coming from a bit of a whitish gate. But when
Barrier 10.
Barrier 10. But when I saw Joe Moreira on it, it gives me a hell of a lot more confidence to get him in a good spot. He was fantastic last start, came through with a win. And there's something about the Waller horses, especially in spring, over 1,600 metres, over the mile. They do have them firing. They're not some of the best sprinters at times, the Wallers, but they do have fitness on their side. I believe he's third up as well.
He is third up, and I was just looking then, mate. That's actually not a bad shout at $6. He came 8th at Ramwick a few weeks ago.
Yep.
The winner there was Via Sistina, but it was only 3.5 lengths off. So
Via Sistina as well, heavily tipped to win last week's main race as well.
Bit of a letdown.
Bit of a letdown. First time going around the other way in Flemington. Always a bit of a bold move, putting that at $2.60. I thought that was the lay of the day, but I said hindsight's 20/20. So.
Yeah, you'll still rely on its form.
100%. So, and the one thing I liked about this Buckaroo is it was nominated for 2 races. So the stable had 2 options for it. It shows that they were thinking very, very they were thinking a lot more about, okay, we're just going to nominate for this one. They looked at the conditions they thought was going to be the best for that horse, and they've chose to go here. So I like it when they've got 2 options. It means that the stable's thinking quite heavily on the horse. I like it. You can back it each way. $6, I believe it's over $2 a place, so you can happily have something each way on that.
$2.15 a place, mate.
There you go. I think it is a top 3 chance, so I'd be leaning towards that one for the Underwood Stakes.
Beauty, mate. I'm just having a look, mate. I actually found A stupid roughie. And you're going to hate me for it.
I never hate a roughie.
No, mate, you won it for this one. Bandy's Boy. It's number 5, race 9 at Randwick in the Yarraman Park. The shorts. Race 9, mate. It's $101. And I'll run you through it.
Okay.
It's
Lock yourselves in, guys. Put your seatbelts on. We've got $101 shotty.
Well, we're going to the moon.
Yeah.
So it came 9.5 lengths off Jolly Star first up.
Yep.
And
Jolly Star nominated in the Everest as well.
yeah, and it was barrier 11 that day. It was back and wide, didn't really get a chance. Last start, 4 lengths off I Am Me
Yep.
and Bella Nipotina.
Yep.
It was barrier 10 that race as well. Draws barrier 3. Chad Schofield on board. I think at 56 kilos, it drops back. It's been racing it was 58 last start.
Yep.
I don't think it's a bad each way bet.
Right.
It's $101 and $19 a place. It's worth a sprinkle.
Is Will whacking it?
I don't know if Will's whacking it.
Yeah.
Dino's dabbling, maybe, but
Might have a sprinkle.
But I'm not going to be going crazy on it, but I'll be definitely having a little wager on it.
Well, for the roughie heads out, everyone bets their own way in horse racing. So if anyone's listening out there loves a roughie, there you go.
I mean, it is a tough race in that race as well. Obviously, there's Aft Cabin.
Is that the shorts, 1100?
Yeah, I Am Me,
Yeah.
Marzu, Lady of Camelot.
I do have another tip as well. So you got the roughie of that race. I am on I Am Me. I believe Nash is back on it. Is that correct? Or
No, J-Mac.
that is even better. Absolutely fantastic. I backed it last start with Nash. It was 850 into 480. I was lucky enough to get 650. I black booked it. It needed a barrier. And what barrier do we have here?
Barrier 2.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So I think
it's a dream.
It's going to sit perfectly behind and do hopefully what it did last start. There's going to be plenty of speed on. Aft Cabin has got massive.
I was going to say, mate, do you give Aft Cabin a chance?
Well, they got massive wraps on Aft Cabin. I'm more so leaning towards a bit of faith from last start. I think with the barrier, look, if I Am Me was drawn a little bit wider, barrier 10, 9, I'd be more leaning towards maybe not, because he might find himself 2 or 3 wide, especially 1,100 metres. You need that cushy run. J-Mac on board. It is, I think that is the play for me in the shorts. Not to say that there is going to, it is a tough race. So, I believe Private Eye is in that as well, which has been an absolute standout for many years. But yeah, I'm an I Am Me for the shorts on that one.
Any other tips for me, mate?
Yeah, I got a stack of tips here. I got the T Rose. I believe this one for the punters out there. There is a couple of absolute stars of racing, I think, this spring that are going to really come to life. Autumn Glow is one of them. I'm very wary of Manal in this race, but I think Autumn Glow is the up-and-comer of the race. Manal's been around, done it. It won last start over 1,600, so I am wary of it. But I think J-Mac as well has got the run of Autumn Glow. He usually gets as well, J-Mac, whatever horse he wants in the spring, because he's so good.
Yeah.
So in springtime, when you're looking at Group 1s, you've got to go barrier and jockeys, I think. And Autumn Glow, I believe it's $1.80.
It's $1.80.
$1.80.
Yep.
I think you put that into Fangirl in the 7 stakes.
That was my other tip as well, Fangirl. I think Benny Scarf's, is he putting $5,000 on the Donny?
I heard.
Yeah, if it gets up. So might be getting in early for that one.
Yeah, 100%. I think Fangirl, again, is another superstar. So
Yeah.
if we're looking at 2 superstars in spring, you put them together in a multi, $3.80.
It's not bad.
You put that in, 100, put as much as you can bet with. Obviously, don't bet over your head, but I think $3.80 is actually a bit of a steal for those two. I know they are highly contested races, but if you're looking at superstars moving forward, I think that is going to be the play for me moving forward. Got a couple of other ones. I've got 2 more bets for this weekend as well. The Kingston Town, I got Zardozi at $6 as well. And I know you like your roughies, so this is race 5, I believe, the Kingston Town.
Hit me.
So I got Zardozi. I think it's all the way down at number 18. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, we're all the way down there. The Cummings horse, $6, $2.20.
Why do you like it?
I like it because I believe the Blue horses are going to be in for a big campaign. and 18 is my favourite number. So there, you don't get many chances to obviously have that in a race. Albeit those is a very huge chance. So if you go off the back of that, guys, $6, I reckon that is definitely an each way chance. And you love a roughie, bro. How about Valiant King at $51?
Oh, where's that? What number? 14.
I've black booked this since the Caulfield Cup last year.
Yeah, first up record's not bad. Why do you like it?
I like it for the Melbourne Cup this year. This is something I've been following since last year's Caulfield Cup run. It's been sitting in my black book for over a year. I think at $51 and $10 it could sneak a place. It's an each-way chance.
Tommy
good barrier, Tommy Berry, Kieran Ma. All things aligned. Good trainer, good jockey. I just think they're going to want this run under its belt because it is targeting the Melbourne Cup. But it may sneak into a place at $10. Nice. So that could be an each-way. You got any other tips? Because I got one.
Probably my special of the day. It's an each way. Randwick race 6. Tough race. Tom Kitten. That's a horse I backed for Goodwill Punting not long ago, and obviously got some, I guess, feelings towards it. But I like Airman number 7. Yep. Timmy Clark's on board. It gets a wide barrier. It's got a great second up record. Sorry, it's had 2 wins from 4. It's raced around the distance. I believe this race is 1400. It's been racing it raced at 1400 not long ago. I think it's ready to go. I think second up with Timmy Clark on board, I think $21 and $5 a place is substantial value. Yep. That's what's Will's whacking.
Will's whacking a $21 shot. I love it. Timmy Clark as well. Can always put faith in him with a wide barrier because he likes to get him out and running, so he takes luck out of it most of the times. Hopefully he can get that up for what's Will whack. And I've got, I don't even have anything to say. Usually it's Dino's decisive bet, but we're going to go with that, I reckon. It is going to be in Caulfield Race 9.
Caulfield Race 9.
This is an each-way bet as well, but it's my best bet of the weekend, besides obviously that the double with Autumn Glow and Fangirl. I've got Epimels. Hear me out. So Epimels last start, its first prep was a star. I believe it went undefeated. Its first up run at Moonee Valley. Now anyone who knows racing, Moonee Valley can be a trap first up. It got back, 3 back the fence, straight 200 metres. It kept trying to get out. The thing about its run, though, it was bumping, almost fell over like 3 times and still managed to push through the line, which shows that the horse has some go and it is firing. It was just a bit of a luckless run. Lucky not to even fall over or take out other horses. So
does barrier 10 Warrior?
I don't think so at Caulfield. I think it will get back, but it will also have the chance to run on a little bit. It is an each way best bet, so because obviously $8 you're going to get some value there, $2.60. So obviously tread carefully, but I think at the $8, the run last start has definitely upped that price. So if it didn't have that, obviously that's with most horses, but I think they're undervaluing the horse a little bit because they may have not seen what happened last start. So I think it's overs at $8, and that is going to be my bet of the round.
Well, that wraps up our racing. Obviously, we're going to have a lot of bets that are coming out probably Friday afternoon, Saturday morning, as well as our betting bad quaddie for Sydney and Melbourne. So stay tuned for that, guys. We've got plenty to come. Move on to the footy, mate.
Yeah. So
Friday night, we've got $7.50 Cronulla Sharks and the North Queensland Cowboys. Sharks are $1.60, Cowboys $2.34. What are your immediate thoughts?
So the footy, I reckon this is going to be. It's going to be an interesting round of football. 2 home teams, obviously the home ground advantage. I don't think in a sudden death finals game that is a massive bonus. I think last week with the Penrith and the Storm it was to get that second round. I think with I believe they're playing at Allianz for both games. Look, that's a pretty neutral ground for both teams. The first game is the Sharks and the Cows. Look, I'm really liking the Cows with the line here at 4.5.
Yeah, I think we spoke about that earlier in the week, and that's something that we definitely both agree on. I think Sharks have got a very tough matchup. Cowboys look good. I've got some bets of my own that I'm pretty keen on for that game.
Well, I mean, the Sharks as well. Look, we had a chat about it. I think everyone's in the same boat, that the Sharks, they have a tendency to go bang, bang. I don't know if they've got any... I don't think they've got big game players. Yeah. At the moment, you look at the Cowboys side, you got Tommy Dearden, you got Valentine Holmes, you got 6
Even Clifford. Yeah.
6 Origin stars versus where you look at the Sharks. I don't know if they've got any big match players. I know everyone's probably said the same thing. Nico's under the pump.
He's under the pump massively.
But you look at their team and you go, who's going to break this open in a finals game? Unfortunately, look, they can. It's going to be tight, I think. But, yeah, off the back of just... I think they're just down on confidence and they look like a team that's struggling a little bit.
I think you could be right. My plays for this week, mate, on that game, I've got Felt anytime in the same game multi. I've got a few legs here. So Felt anytime is the first one.
Yep.
He's on fire, mate. He's scoring at least 1 try in each of North Queensland's last 7 games. He's killing it.
He's a beast.
I've got Tuolangi anytime as well. I like him. He scored 1 try in each of North Queensland's last 3 games. I think it could be high points in this game. I think the line's at about 45.5.
Total points.
I think so. And I think if there's going to be points, I think Felt and Tuolangi get over.
Yep.
And Mulatalo, he's the last 4 games against North Queensland, he scored 4 times. So
love it.
Yeah.
I reckon, definitely the edges are susceptible. You watch the Sharks and the Cowboys every single week, and they always, Felt scored a bucket load. Taolangi and Ronaldo. I have got a very similar same game multi as well. Now, all these same game multis and tips will be up on our page so that you can follow it. What I've done is I've done Felt as well and Mulatalo, so we're both similar there. You mentioned there that it's going to be a high-scoring game. I reckon so too. So I've done the 2 second rowers into the 2 wingers mentality. One, I've done Teague Wilton. The reason I've done Teague Wilton, he's a little bit different. Obviously, Nicker has been scoring all the tries, but Vialia from the Cowboys.
Okay.
I've been watching him recently. He seems a bit unsure about his defence. Either side of the ruck, he's just sort of got his feet planted. So I think he's going to get carved up, I believe. Hopefully, if you're a Cowboys fan, I still think they're going to win. But I reckon he's susceptible to a Teague Wilton unders line. And I think as well, Jeremiah Nanai might latch onto a grubber or a little specky above him. He's
can
good.
see that happening.
He's good with his hands, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He is. What are the odds for that?
I got him at $45, guys. Load up. I think that will be, like I said, high scoring game. You've got overs. We've got try scorers.
I think that's Dino's danger zone. Maybe that's a new segment.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
That could sick.
Hey, John, can we get the danger zone song? Is there any chance we can get the Tom Cruise? Someone actually said I looked like Tom Cruise once, but he didn't have his glasses on.
Well, mine's only $5.50 in that game for the Felt Tuolangi Mulatalo. That's the shortest probably odds of anything this week that I like.
Yep.
This is a bit of a stupid one, but I like Reece Robson first try scorer at $41. Reason being is that he was scurrying last week, and I kept thinking I thought he might get over. I wonder what he's going to be next week. He's $7 anytime.
Yep. $7 anytime.
$7 anytime.
After Harry Grant scored 3.
Reece Robson hat trick. Maybe that's the guys at Lightning bet what they were paying.
Yeah.
But I also, as I said, it's a bit sketchy, this one. I had a dream last night that he did one of the greatest show and goes and went from himself. And when one of those ones where the cameraman gets done. I think in my dream I got done as well. Like it was one of those ones. So I just woke up and I was like,
accidentally headbutted Tilly's back. What are you doing?
Yeah, she heard me just yell out, cash those tickets.
Load up, mate.
Yeah.
41.
Yeah, mate. $41 first try scorer, and I might have a little dabble at him at $7 anytime as well. In a high scoring game, you never know.
Mate, Sharks defence up the middle, like we saw last week, are very susceptible. So good play there. $41.
For sure.
Gee, we've got value coming out of everywhere this week, don't we?
Yeah, we could go bang, or could go bust.
Hey, it's called betting bad for a reason.
Yeah, right.
But at the end of the day, look, we're here to try to give you guys a good insight, and I think the next match is going to be an absolute cracker. Manly Roosters.
Yeah, Saturday, 7:50. Mate, I think we both agree that we think Manly can probably cause an upset here.
I think so.
Why do you think that?
I reckon the Roosters, look, straight sets. It probably not going to sound good to Roosters fans out there. And you look at past years as well. A lot of times when you come in the top 4, you lose. I don't know. Getting back up, because it's a semi-final. They get JWH back. That's going to be a lift internally, no doubt. But I think the win from Manly is going to boost them a lot more than the loss that the Roosters had. There's a lot of talk at the Roosters at the moment. See, they get JWH back, but I just think they are a little bit susceptible. Without Sam Walker, they've lost a bit of direction in their attack. I think there's a lot of pressure on, especially Teddy, at the moment, which, he can handle the pressure, but You know, he does sometimes tend to overplay his hand just because it's just natural. He's a leader. He wants to win. I don't think that they're, at the moment, with the 3 injuries that they had, I think shattered them a little bit. And Manly, look, $2.34 is definitely overs. I mean, their forward pack is just as dynamic as anyone else's.
I think so. Depends which Manly turn up.
Yeah.
I think that Manly are probably going to be stronger in the key moments. And I think they're probably going to be close. I think it's going to be high scoring, but I've got to go with Manly.
It does scream over Cherry Evans. Bit of a masterclass. Tommy Turbo's injured as well a little bit, but
He'll play through it.
He'll play through it. Needle him up. I mean, Victor Radley's on the extended bench, so if he plays, that'll just boost the team up. You know, I played in footy teams. You played in footy teams. When you see someone of a gun come with an injury that plays with it, you get jacked up.
There's a target.
There is a target, but your team does get jacked up, going, he's going to play through this. We have to step up. He's putting his body on the line. So if Victor does play, I think it's going to help Roosters a lot more, just mentally. But yeah, all that saying, I think Manly at $2.34 just massive overs, and I can't ignore the price.
What's your same game?
Same gamer. So off the back of last weekend, Ola Kawatu, he's been in a lot of my same games this year. He's just a beast. Just a pure beast.
Yeah, he's a weapon. What's he paying anytime?
He's $3.60.
Okay.
So, I mean, still a little bit overs. I think that Cherry Evans relies a lot of him short. Probably running over the top of Sandon Smith or Luke Keary.
Yeah,
So
tell you what, even just any time for that, it's not too bad. Like a high-scoring game, the line's set at, 46.5?
you could just have 100 on Ola. And just say, here, there you go,
1,000.
mate. 1,000.
What's up at 100?
Yeah, just add the 0. No decimal points here at betting bad. Gamble responsibly.
Yeah,
He's definitely in my same games this week for sure. I got him along, like I mentioned before. Teddy does love to have his fingers in pies, so I'm going to have him busting through the tackle or just latching onto a loose ball, I think. And then Lei Hopewade, I mean, he's got that John Hopewade sperm. So he just something just happens around him. Like I was listening to the Hello Sport boys. They said that no Hopewade has produced not a gun, and they just keep turning up. So I've been watching him. Like even last week, he just jumped up, got the ball, got him back in the game. I think he's going to do something that just gets him over the line. So that's paying about $15. I wish there was a market for JWH to go for 10 in the bin in his last game.
Surely the guys at Lightning Bet can do a little bit of a BYO or something like that kind of market. You'd think so.
Picture this. Manly are up by 14 with 5 to go. And he's on the field. What's he going to do?
Can we do a Victor Radley double? Double for the sin bin?
I don't know if he can get his shoulder up that high. He might just do the old-fashioned shoulder charge. But I don't know. It just smells of a Manly. If they win, JWH just goes, you know what?
Yeah.
I'll see you boys never.
He'll blow a gasket, yeah.
He will blow a gasket. You got any same games for this one?
Mate, I do. And this is probably my most confident in the footy this weekend. So, obviously, besides our best bet, which we'll get to soon.
Yep.
I think Manly 1-12. I think it's obviously going to be close. I think it's a high-scoring affair, but I think that Roosters will hang in there long enough. It might even be a story of Roosters up at halftime, Manly come back in the second half. I think it's going to be close. Manly 1-12. Total points. The line set at 46.5. I went a little bit safer. I went 43.5.
Yep.
Roosters score over 30 points per game on average. Sea Eagles score 26.4. So both high-scoring teams. And as I said, just play a little bit safer with 43.5. Dom Young, anytime. Obvious reasons. He's $1.50 for any time anyway. He gets over. He's got the most line breaks. Third most tries. He wins. Luke Brooks, anytime. And that's purely just because it's been a long time between drinks and you can't discredit the fact that someone's due.
Yeah, 100%.
So
big game. Well, first final series. You'd love to see him go over.
Oh, I think so. In a high-scoring game, I think he gets one at least.
Yeah.
So
he gets more than a barbecue as a reward.
Yeah, for sure. $31, the same game multi-odds there. So that's me, mate. That's me in the footy.
Beautiful. I like it. $31 on your side of things, $15 on our side. Whoever you bet with, obviously check out Lightning Bet, like I said, but you probably got a lot of options out there as well in terms of money back guarantees as well. So plenty of options moving forward with the footy.
There is. Are we going to touch on our best bet?
100%.
Which I believe was North Queensland covering the line.
It was. So it was the Cowboys with the 4.5 into Manly head-to-head at $2.34. What that'll give you is a $4.28.
Yep.
$4.25 to $4.30. I reckon that's the play of the round in the footy. Couple of upsets. I mean, the Cows with the line, we're covering a try because I think that's going to be tight. I do think the Manly one is going to be tight as well, but the line's 2.5. So
I think Manly $2.34 is just too much. Like
Yeah.
Cows $2.34, I can kind of get it.
Yep.
With the Sharks, like they are kind of hit and miss, and I think Sharks had really good form coming into that last game, so you can kind of dismiss it almost.
Yeah.
If you wanted to. So I think that's safe. Plus 4.5, $1.83 into Eagles. What $2.34?
$2.34.
I love it.
$4.28. That's our best bet of the round. The betting bad, best bet of the round, $4.28 in the footy. Pretty much covers us off for
Mate, I
the
think
first
that's,
ever podcast.
I think that's us for the first one. Obviously, a bit of a shorter one without the MMA this week, but obviously we've got big things coming. We've got plans for live streams, and obviously big on Instagram. We're going to get on TikTok and the YouTube, and like, share, subscribe. You know what to do.
Massively.
Do all
That's
that.
the one thing that we're probably I'm not used to at all. Liking, subscribing, and
We're a bit out of our depth, if I'm honest.
100%. The microphones, the
Yeah.
studio.
This studio just. I feel like we're going to hit up for like a $3,000 bill after this, but
No, Jock will sort us out, won't you, mate?
yeah.
Yeah, he's a good man. So yeah, like and subscribe. Feedback's always warranted. Negatively, positively. Hopefully we can get the punters out there a couple of wins, fill up the kitty. Christmas is coming up. Cost of living's gone through the bloody roof. Everyone's fuel price is actually pretty low at the moment. Usually you could blow up about that, but I'm getting diesel $1.69. So
Everyone's got to grow up a little bit.
Everyone needs a bit of coin. So hopefully we can tip you into a few winners this week.
Definitely, man. I hope we kick us off with a bang. Follow us on the socials. Obviously, Betting Bad Podcast on Instagram. We got Betting Bad Podcast on YouTube. Going to be on Twitch as well, but get around those. We got plenty more to come. We're going to have tips drop for Saturday. We're going to drop them probably Friday afternoon, Saturday morning, as well as the quaddie. And then we're also going to be touching on probably some fan bets for next week, where fans can send their videos in of their best bets. Pretty much, if you give us the greatest description, whether it makes sense or whether it's just funny, we'll just play it on the big screen. You'll get our live reaction as well.
Yeah, massively. Send them in. We'll choose the best one. If it gets up, there may be a little incentive there for you guys as well. But like I said, plenty of fan interaction moving forward. Keep up with the live streams. I forgot about the Lady Potato Head.
You're at
Black Book tomorrow at a maiden plate. So
where is it at?
It's at Cranbourne. We'll post
Royal
it.
Cranbourne.
Cranbourne Race 3. We'll post it tomorrow. Don't want to prolong the ending too much, but we'll look at Cranbourne. We'll post it on the page. Have a look. Lady Potato Head. It's in a maiden. Do your best.
Dip your toes in. Get in
Dip your
early.
toes in. If you've never had a winner, this one hasn't. If it's your first time betting, no better way to get off a maiden than at Cranbourne Race 3, Lady Potato Head.
Pop the cherry, mate.
Pop the cherry, guys. But thanks for coming along.
Yeah, for those of you that are still sticking around, appreciate you listening in. Plenty more to come, as I said, and stay tuned for the next episode.
All good. All right, guys. See you next week. Thank you.